as a child was older guys.
Right.
And they all told me the same thing. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? As far as, becoming a father and stuff like that, you're gonna have to make sacrifices. And if one of your sacrifices is to, take off and go and do better, just make sure you don't forget once you get to where you need to be.
Absolutely.
Come back and bring them with you.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's one of the things. So with this boxing thing, I'm really hoping that it takes off the way I want it to. I don't want it to take off too early. I just want it to be when it needs to be.
Yeah, you're gonna be straight up, bro. This is for love, for mothers that's grieving. It's for that dreamer in that class that's underachieving. Welcome to the Detail Athlete. This is your host, Daniel Carr. And today, I have the champ with me. His name is Tez Wuan, the Hercules Starlings. He's 6-0 with 6 knockouts. He's a fellow graduate of Midland Valley High School, boxing under the UNBC. He is the UNBC 168 champion right now. Like I said, this is the guy, the champ, Tez Wuan Hercules Starling, man. What's good, bro?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Straight.
Glad to be here.
Glad to have you on, man. Appreciate you coming on, inviting me to the gym. You know what I mean? I appreciate it, bro.
I got you. Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about excuse me. Talk to me a little bit about home. How you grew up, man. Like, what was home in your childhood like?
It was like, you would say, kind of like a typical childhood. I was raised off of Luana Drive, so basically everything over that way, it was kind of, in and out as far as neighborhood wise. You got your typical drug dealers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I made sure I kind of stayed out of everything that was going on as far as that part.
Absolutely.
But growing up, it wasn't bad. My mom made sure I was straight. My uncle, who passed, he passed a couple years back.
Mm-hmm.
He made sure that I wasn't getting into any troubles also. So everything was pretty good. And then I used to get in a little trouble because I was a little hard-headed little kid. That's all.
Yeah.
We have a lot of those hard-headed kids, but I was a hard-headed kid, and then I got introduced to boxing. So ever since the age of 9, man, I've been doing it, and it's been my love. Like, I love it to death.
Right.
I'll die doing this.
Yeah. Who introduced you to boxing?
So my sister's dad, Terry Cade, he's a coach, and he introduced me into it, and from then on I've been doing it. I did have a kind of setback when I got out of high school because I went into the Army National Guard.
Okay.
And with that, I just do like once a month drill, and then like every year I do like a 2-week drill.
Okay.
So I do that, but once I had came back, after that, it was, you might as well say it was about a year of training.
Yeah.
So after I had came back, I got right back into it.
Got right back into boxing.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Let's take a step back. Let's make all the way back to high school, man. What people, they should know if they don't, that you're a state champion in your own right.
Yeah.
Long jump, right?
Yeah, long jump.
Yeah. So what made you say, man, because you played basketball, you was on the basketball team.
Yeah.
Should have played football.
Yeah. I should have.
We know Kendrick, your brother, played.
Yeah.
He was mad until he got hurt. But what made you step out there on that track?
Well, so the first time I seen, like, it was after school, and I seen the kids out there doing running and doing the hurdles and stuff. So I was like, man, I wonder what they're over there doing. So I went over there and I went and checked it out.
Okay.
And at the time, Coach Bo and can't think of the other coach's name, but he left and went to Aiken High.
Oh, Coach Staley.
No, it was the he was the head coach for Aiken High track team.
Oh, Mr. Hostetler.
Yeah, Coach Hostetler. So I went out there and I talked to them, and they was like, well, you come out, and we'll get you straight. So that was matter of fact, that was my freshman year. Okay. And I was like, okay. So that next day they had practice. I was getting ready to go out there, and I was like, man, it is hot. I ain't even gonna do it. So Coach Bo was on me. He was asking me, he was like, man, you gonna come out? Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna come out, but I don't know, because it's hot out there. So long story short, I ended up going out my junior year. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I ended up going out my junior year. I made it all the way to state qualifiers, and I got cheated out. But I told them that day, and I made that statement. I was like, I'm gonna be back, and I'm gonna win state. Right. So my senior year, I went back, and man, I literally crushed everybody. Yeah. Like I came first in every heat that I was in. Yeah. Well, shoot, bro, you athletic as all get out. I should have been no brainer. Yeah. But the thing is, though, like you talking about it's hot, bro. It be hot in this gym. It be hot in the gym that you go boxing. So why was the heat? Well, what's the difference? At the time, being young and always being in the house a lot, okay. It's like, shoot, do you want to be in the AC or do you want to be out in the heat? You know what I'm saying? So that's really how that was. Yeah. That's really how that was. Okay. Nah, but I'm sure you don't regret making that decision, going out there and saying, you'll accomplish a lot, man. State championship is not easy. Obviously, I know. Yeah. The state championship is not easy to win. Like, to get there, but let alone win. It's not easy, and you was able to get there, get cheated, return back off of the words that you said, man, like I'm coming back. It ain't nothing nobody can stop me from doing. And that's dope, bro. Like, I know I told you then, but congratulations, bro. Yeah, I appreciate it. Because that's dope, man. And you setting your trailblazer for that, bro. Like, people looking up to you because of that, whether you know it or not. Yeah. Yeah. The military, I know you kind of touched on a little bit what you doing. What made you make that decision, though? Well, you know how normally they have like the ads on TV, mm-hmm. and I've always seen the ads, so I was like, you know what? I probably want to be in the military. So, okay. I mean, I just had it in my head, and one of the recruiters from the Marines came to the school, and they had the little pull-up bar and things like that. So I went and I did it during lunch. Okay, yeah. I remember that. He was like, man, you pretty strong, man. You can do a lot of pull-ups. I forgot how many I did, but I did a good bit of them. He was like, probably something crazy. Probably. Yeah, no, but he was like, you should probably join the Marines. So I gave him my information and stuff like that, and I ain't gonna lie to you, he called me nonstop. Yeah. I got kind of tired of it, but I ended up talking with this recruiter from the Army National Guard, mm-hmm. and he was from the area, and I ended up taking that route. Yeah. And going, and then it's like Army National Guard. So, I mean, I was thinking, well, since I box and I do the Army National Guard, so the Army National Guard, I only go to train, once a month. So, it's basically Saturday and Sunday. Yeah. And then that's it. But once a month, I only do that once a month. Every other day, I live regular life. Yeah. So, I was like, well, I can do that and still be a professional boxer. So, I was like, well, I'm going to just take this route. And then I'm going to go and we're going to do that. So I ended up doing that. I left for basic training around September of 2019, mm-hmm. right after I graduated. And I got out around December. Mm-hmm. And then right after I got out of my basic training in December, I went to my annual training, my AIT. And that basically just taught me on my job. Okay. So my job is a 12 whiskey, which is a carpenter. Okay. So I went to school for that, and that was about 3-4 months. So I got out probably not even that. I got out in February. Okay, so recent. Yeah, so February of 2020. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I got out February of 2020, and after that, shoot, I just been doing the drill once a month. Chilling, really. Yeah, and then every year, you got your 2-week training. So you'll be out in the field for 2 weeks straight, and then you come home. Right. So I've been doing that ever since until now, and I mean, I like it. I like it, but you know, nothing can compare to this boxing thing, man.
Yeah, there's a love for it, and now that you mention that, man, about the boxing, you've been doing it since you was 9.
Mm-hmm.
You was introduced to it by Terry K. Shout out to you, Terry.
Yeah.
You're Devin Young. Seeing his success early, especially throughout the amateurs, did it motivate you kind of to see him do it, and did it make it real for you that you could do it too?
Well, yes, and reason because of that, because I mean, me and like when I first like I said, when I first got introduced to it, that's when I first met Devin, and kind of find out we ended up being cousins.
Right.
So I first met Devin then, and like when we had that first session together, and like we continuously had sessions, we was like, man, we're gonna make it together. We're gonna go pro. We're gonna make it big together. And so far, I mean, we kind of held that up.
Yeah.
Because he's been in here with me, and we've been training in here. So as far as that, and he's pro and I'm pro, so we doing what we said we was gonna do.
Right, and both undefeated.
Yeah, both undefeated as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So what is it like, man, when you go into a fight? What do you have jitters? Is it anything like when you were sitting in the locker room for a basketball game? Well, like what are the comparisons as far as when you're sitting in the back before a fight compared to when you're sitting in the back of a locker room for a basketball game? Are there any comparisons as far as the way you feel?
Well, I'm pretty sure everybody probably feel this way, but you know, as far as being in the locker room and being in that area where you are getting the dressing room for the fight, well, you got to prep your mind for whatever you're getting ready to do.
Absolutely.
So as far as playing basketball, you're not sitting up there thinking, man, I'm about to go here and fight somebody. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But as far as that, like I always get the same feeling. So like I tend to get real, like my bodies tend to get real warm, real hot. And it's not like, I don't know if it's I feel nervous, but it's like my body's nervous. So I get real warm and hot. And then as far as getting ready to come up to the stage, to get ready to go on the stage, and this happens on the basketball court as well, I kind of get that little butterfly in my stomach, like, oh,
yeah,
you know what
here
I'm
it comes.
Yeah. But it's getting into the ring. It's for some strange reason, as soon as I step foot in the ring, it's like everything is gone.
You know, I know.
Yeah, as soon as step in the ring, it feels like everything is gone. And it's like I'm locked in and I'm focused, because mainly whenever I train and I push myself I push myself over the limit.
Yeah, got to.
So whenever I step in that ring, I be like, I'm good. I've worked for this. I've trained myself for this. So there's no reason why I should get beaten in this fight.
Right.
And as far as basketball, you know, basketball is not an individual sport.
Right.
So you have teammates to rely on. But when you're in the ring,
just you.
Yeah, I mean, it's you, but you have coaches that's, you know, calling out stuff as well. But really, yeah, it's just you. You know what I'm saying? So it's a difference, but it's not a difference.
Yeah. It's hearing you talk about that, it, like you said, there's a difference, but it's not, because all the feelings that you just said you had are the same feelings I used to get. You know what I mean? You sit in the locker room. Yeah, I'm not thinking I'm about to go in there and fight somebody, but I know I'm about to go in here and fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's going to be a war when I get out there on that basketball court.
Correct. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's still the same type of feeling. Like, no, I'm not about to physically punch this dude in the face, but metaphorically, I'm about to punch this team in the mouth.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I got to give it all I got. And to your point, man, I love that you said it, that you push yourself to a limit to when you get in the ring, you know, oh, well, I'm good. Because when you get in certain situations, you always fall back on your training anyway. You fall back to the basics of what you know. And if you haven't taught yourself, you haven't trained your body, you haven't trained your mind to say, okay, when stuff starts getting hard, this is how I'm going to react. You know what I mean? So when you get in the ring and it starts getting hard and you don't really know how to react because you haven't been training it, now you find yourself in some trouble.
Yeah.
Now you get in the ring, you know what I'm saying? He might throw something at you that you ain't see on film or whatever. It's like, okay, well, I work hard, bro. I'm not going to lose this fight.
Right.
Because adversity is not going to be the reason why I lose this fight. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
same thing with basketball, football. Shoot, life.
Yeah.
In general, you get out what you put in. You know what I mean? Like, whatever you doing, raising kids, going to work, learning a new trade, in school, you're going to get out what you put in.
Yeah.
And I think that you realize that early. And I think the people around you realized it for you, or knew that you had to give some tools to realize it, and you was doing it, and you probably didn't realize that you was doing it, i.e. by saying, okay, I just got cheated in the high jump. I will be back.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it ain't, now I know what I have to do. I didn't do anything necessarily wrong. It got taken from me, but I know what I have to do. So this won't happen again.
Yeah.
And you was doing it, you probably didn't even really, it didn't click to you right then, like, oh shoot, like, I'm pushing myself to a limit so that I know how to perform when I get there.
Right, yeah.
And so that shows growth, man, and maturity, a growth and maturity that you've always had. And so I'm taking my hat off to you, man, and giving you your flowers right now, bro, because we don't talk a lot, you know what I mean? So on this, it's on the camera now, you know what I mean? So you know what I mean? It's always gonna be out there. So I'm telling you, man, first off, I'm proud of you, number one.
I appreciate it, man.
Always seeing a lot of potential in you, always seeing a lot of growth, and you always been kind of one of the older thinking ones, you know what I mean? Just so I'm proud of you, man. And you said something about your coaches. Talk to me a little bit about Coach Hank, man, and talk about the gym a little bit.
Oh man, Coach Hank, he's real good at what he does. As far as not even on just being a coach, but being a big mentor and a father figure for these kids. Even if they do have fathers, you know what I'm saying. But being a big father figure for these kids, and as far as how we run things at this gym, and this is his gym. As far as how we run things here, we put God first,
absolutely.
Then we put family, and then we put the boxing gym. You know what I'm saying? So we always make time for God. We always make time for family. So he goes and he does stuff as far as taking these kids out on weekends and stuff like that. They go bowl or go to a water park or something like that. Like, he does a lot for these kids.
Right.
And he sacrificed a lot for them. And me honestly, I feel like he's willing to do anything for any one of us that's here.
Okay.
As far as coaching, man, he's I feel like a firm believer of him being one of the most toughest guys ever, because he sees a lot, and he'll push you to that point where like, okay, yeah, you had enough.
Yeah.
But he don't overdo it. He doesn't overdo it. But it's kind of like a choice thing. It's like, it's up to you if you want to go out there and you want to touch on, okay, all right, so you see we got two different training facilities. Well, not facilities, but two different training styles. So we got the pros training, we got the amateurs training. Okay. Now, if you're starting off with the amateurs and the pros kind of do somewhat of the same thing, but the pros just do a little bit more.
Right.
But
longer fight.
Yeah.
A lot of different stuff. Like, it's a different type of fighting. Amateur and pro, yeah.
But as far as that, you wouldn't want to just come to the gym, start off in the gym, and be like, well, I want to start with the pros.
Yeah, man.
That's a no-go.
Right, unless you know something that somebody else don't.
Yeah, because like I say, we train hard. We train real hard, and that's for both the amateurs and the pros. We train hard. But as far as getting in there and actually doing it, that's the main thing. Actually putting time in, actually doing it. And he's, you know what I'm saying, I feel like he's just like a teacher. You know what I'm saying? A teacher's not going to invest their time into you if you're not willing to want to do it.
Invest in yourself, yeah.
So that's how I feel. He'll try, but if you continue showing him the same thing, it's like, well, I mean, I can't do no more.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, but
absolutely,
I love him, man. That's a OG in my book.
Yeah, true definition of an OG. Yeah, seriously. Yeah. When you're in the ring and you boxing, you in the middle of a fight, crowd's loud, can you really hear him? Can you hear the coaching, or do you really just be so zoned in? It's like you don't really hear him until the round over.
Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't.
Yeah.
But if I can't hear him, I'll just think of something that I know he might say.
Okay.
Because like as far as with sparring and stuff like that, I can hear him during sparring.
Oh, absolutely.
So whenever I spar, I hear him saying certain stuff for me to do, and I just think of it like, okay, well, if I was in this position in a fight, what would he say? Right. What would he tell me while I'm in here? So if, say for instance, I'm in the ring in a fight and I'm bagging up towards the ropes, what do I think he gonna tell me?
Yeah.
I mean, natural instinct, anybody they'll think, you know, to get off of the ropes.
Off the rope.
with me, how I box, how I know, I gotta get off the ropes and I gotta relax.
Yeah.
Get off the ropes and relax. So once I do that, my mind goes back to winding. And that's when sometimes, well, most of the time, that's when the magic ends up happening.
Yeah.
But, but I just basically just think off of what he normally would say to me as far as sparring.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Shout out to you, Coach Hank, man. You an OG. Like you just said, man, and what you doing, man, just keep going. Keep going for sure. 6 knockouts, bro. You're 6-0 with 6 knockouts. And they're all pretty quick.
Yeah.
What's that like? What goes through your mind when before the fight? Can you, at weigh-ins, the press conference, do you get a feeling like, oh yeah, it's gonna be an early night? When do you say, okay, well, it might actually be an early night? Is it when the fight starts, at the weigh-in, when you look in your opponent or what is it?
Well, honestly, with me, I don't judge a book by its cover, regardless whoever it is. I don't care.
Smart.
So I don't look at nobody any lesser than I am. So I really, and honestly, as far as knocking somebody out, I don't ever look for that.
Right.
It just happens.
Right.
And it all comes with technique and timing. So I don't ever think to knock somebody out, because if I think, I'll try too hard and then it won't happen.
Right.
But if I don't think, it'll end up happening.
Yeah.
So I don't try to put my mind in that perspective of trying to knock somebody out.
Right. But they happen so fast though. Like it's never one of those things where I can't ask you the question, well, what do you do when you see them hurt? Do you be like, oh yeah, it's time to cut the lights out? Because it happens so fast.
Yeah. So basically, you can tell when somebody's hurt, and depending on which angle they are positioned, you will go and take the best available spot that's open to land a shot.
Yeah.
So say for instance, if they leaned over and they holding their side, if you're holding the side, your face is visible,
wide open.
So you'll want to go and try and take that face shot. But if they end up going to block, you got to be able to see if they're coming up the block or if they're going to keep their hand there. If they pull their hand up, you got a available shot to place on the body.
Right.
So it's all, like I said, it's all with technique and timing. So like as far as them being quick the way they are, I don't know. My coach, well, every coach that I had, from Coach Hank to, well, from Coach Terry to Coach Hank, Coach Anthony, shout out to you, and all the other coaches who've worked with me. From hearing from them, I'm basically everything you would want in a package as far as speed and strength.
Right.
So it's like if you get hit, I mean, it's like you're gonna take it like a champ, or you gonna, you know.
Right, so, it might be early.
Yeah, so it's based off of how I place it and how hard I throw it or how hard it lands.
Right. So
I'm guessing as far as I know, everything been landing pretty hard.
Be some nasty ones now. I ain't lying. Yeah, it'd be some nasty ones, man.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the first night that you won the title, because I know that was a surreal feeling.
Man, first night I won the title. Oh, it was magical, man. It was magical. it was. I mean, as far as winning the state title, you know, it was like, well, at that time it felt like, well, I already knew I was gonna win it anyway.
Yeah.
But being there, and that was like magical as far as seeing how everybody in the audience just went up on their feet and was just praised. Like it was like a big praise.
Yeah.
And by me being so young and having this happen so early in my career, like it just felt like you know, I was on top of the world.
Yeah.
And I just I just it kind of, man, it's emotional, really. It really is, because like I said, by it being so young, me being so young in my career and having something like that happen, especially for me, and the way it did,
right,
man, it was a blessing, really.
Yeah.
And I thank God for it. Every time I sit here and I look at this belt, it's a blessing, man.
Yeah. But you work for it.
Yeah.
You work for it, and it's one thing that I'm sure the listeners, they hear me say probably every other episode, but faith without work is dead. The Bible says that. You know what I mean? So you have faith in your dream, right? You've been wanting to do it for a long time, but you work for it.
Yeah.
So God is able to bless you with what you work for because you work for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So but don't let that wither away for you. Let the work always be your calling card, man, because it's gonna take you further than you at a good spot right now, but it's gonna take you to heights that you never could imagine.
Right.
The heights that you see on TV, type of heights, man. Just keep going, bro, and keep the work, because that's what's gonna get you through every time.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Your first title defense. What was your mindset?
Well, so I haven't had a title defense yet.
Okay.
But this is the first. Well, as far as with this, this is the guy when I won the belt. But it was a vacant belt.
Okay.
So it was open for either one of us to win.
Right.
And like I said, when I'm in this gym, man, I push myself to an undoubtable limit that is like, man, you gonna kill yourself.
Yeah.
And like you can ask just about anybody as far as what I do, as far as getting prepped and making sure I'm ready for my fights. Like I do a lot. Right. I do a whole lot. And I make sure that getting prepped and getting ready for this fight, that I'm on top of everything. I'm on top of weight. I'm on top of my agility, my speed, my strength, my thinking process. I'm making sure that everything is where it needs to be in place for whenever I get ready to fight.
Right.
So yeah, going into that fight, it was kind of different because the guy that I was fighting, he came in overweight, so he had to go and lose. He had to go and lose weight. And when we did the face off, he wasn't up there. So I knew how I trained for that fight. Right. And I knew in my mind, just like state title, I knew in my mind that was gonna be my belt. Yeah. So I made sure I put that in my mind, and when I went and fought, I kept that in my head.
Yeah. That's an incredible story, bro. Saturday night, back at it again.
Yeah,
back at it again. How long was your layoff? When's the last time you fought?
So the last time I fought was it? I think it was April. I think April was the last time I fought, and that was in the same place I'm fighting now, at the Jamel Shrine Temple, and that's up in Colombia. So it was a pretty good fight. Yeah. He got it.
Come on, man.
Yeah. That one ended kind of quick too.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Kinda quick.
first round.
Nah, come on, Tez.
Yeah, but no, see, because I'm not.
I love it, bro.
Yeah.
No, I love it, but you can call a spade, bro. It was quick.
Yeah, but yeah, this fight is, if you, and this is for all the listeners, man. If you've never been to an actual boxing event, man, this is something you'll probably want to take the time and go out and see, because it's different from actually seeing it on TV and going there and see, because going there and actually seeing it, being a part of it, it feels totally different, and it brings a different perspective to you as far as watching the sport of boxing. So like I said, whenever I have fights and stuff like that, I post it on my social media. I try and post it 2 to 3 months ahead of time. When I get my tickets, I post up and let people know that I have tickets that are available for purchase, and you can purchase them from me, and that'll get you squared off as far as getting to the fights and being able to see it. But
yeah,
man, like I said, if you've never been to one, it's something you'll probably want to take the time out a weekend to go and actually see, and it's quite an excitement. It really is.
Yeah. So tell the people again, man. This Saturday, what time does the event start, man?
So this Saturday, August the 13th, Jamel Shrine Temple. That's in Columbia. The event start at 6. Doors open at 5. So make sure you get there, get your seat, get your food, get your drinks, whatever you need to get. Make sure you get it. Not saying my fight is gonna be quick, but
got track record.
just don't be disappointed if it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I wanna touch a little bit on this too. And one of my biggest things, that's as far as making it with this boxing and doing what I do and what I love, is my biggest motivation, and that's my son.
Okay, absolutely.
And like when he first came into the world, it was like how everybody would expect. It was a bundle of joy.
Yep.
And being able to be there with him while he's growing up, and seeing a lot of changes in him that you wouldn't normally see by just being like a brother or a sister to a newborn, it's a major impact on you. And like being able to take him with me, especially when I come here to the gym, bringing him to the gym with me, seeing that he loves to get involved with everything that he see me doing, is it's a lot. It's a lot. And you would think that, man, I wouldn't want my son to get into this, or I wouldn't want my daughter to get in this, because of I know what it takes in order to do it.
Yeah.
But if they're already showing signs that this is something that they would be interested in,
can't stop it no way.
Right. The only thing you can do is, be accountable and, be like, oh, this is what you want to do?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna do everything I need to do as far as to getting you where you need to be with this.
Absolutely.
And that's with any sport, not just boxing, just any other sport that they want to do. And even if it's not sports, even if it's just education, or wanting to do something career life, be behind these kids and take initiative and be a parent to them. It's a lot of stuff that's going on out here in this world that we need to try and veer these kids off of, because it's starting to get real bad. And the real reason why it's getting bad is because these parents aren't being parents.
Absolutely, man. 100%.
But
100%.
But yeah, man, and I wholeheartedly feel like, by us younger generation that's trying to do better and trying to show a brighter light for these kids, I feel like we should all just come together and, do something major for them, to let them know and let them see that, it's other stuff out here you can do. That's why I'm happy that you got me on here, and I'm happy you're doing this podcast, and to everybody else that's out there doing positive things, that's trying to get these kids' minds right.
Right.
Because this is their life. Well, this is our life and their life, and you only got one of them to live.
Absolutely.
So why not live it right and live it wrong?
All right. That's tough, man. That's powerful, bro. This is Detailed Athlete, man. I'm your host, Tez Wuan Starlings, man. 6-0 after Saturday, 7-0. I'm already calling it, man. Love you, bro. Appreciate you coming on.
Appreciate you having me, man.
Absolutely, man. Like I said, this is Detailed Athlete. I'm your host, Daniel Carter. This is Tez Starlings, and we are out. Wishing for love, for mothers that's grieving. It's for that dreamer in that class that's underachieving. It's for believers whose faith is just keeping them breathing. This is regarding it either. It's for all of my heathens. Happy moment, happy sprinkled through half of these tragedies. Actually, I just started embracing change. It's safe to say that growth is an uncomfortable process, and pain is a necessary investment for progress. I stress that if you ever get ill or hurt against your will, just equip with God. This is our test. Yes, this time is gonna be different. I'ma bless the world with honest quotes from every sin and get better every moment, just like my mama mentioned. Hard times but never resentment. I stay forever relentless. Yeah. I gotta grind, I can't leave them behind. They said, boy, you the ticket, I ain't talking about fines. I know I'm on the right path, I ain't looking for signs. They say the quickest way to break through is freeing the mind. Man, my goal is perfection, but I may never reach it. It's every man for themselves, watch how you sharing secrets. No, I don't like parasites, I can't tolerate leeches. I get to work my testimony, I feel like a deacon. The truth is in the fine print, you gotta pay attention. Rule number 1, never try to speak more than you listen. I know the biggest thing in life is to stay consistent. That's why I'm working on the present. I know that I'm gifted. I can't give up cause life is a challenge. I got the world on my shoulders, I'm trying to keep balance. No, I ain't never seen the world, I'm exploring my talent. My destiny is set in stone, you can say that it's mountain. I gotta get it, ain't no way around it. That's how it goes, I ain't worried about the coach's pick cause I'm already chose. And God gave me the key to every door that they done closed. I done came a long way from canned goods and pallets on the floor. Life done taught me some lessons. I don't face some rejections. I know that this is my path. No, I don't need no direction. I'm just tired of this stressing. We in need of for blessings. Sometimes I sit and look at my reflection.